Hello there, what is up, guys? It's Aiden here. I'm starting a new series on my channel, so yay! So this kind of got inspired by all the Let's Plays that people do on YouTube of, Minecraft down No Man's Sky, which looks like a very cool game, among, thousands of other games that people review and play for an audience on YouTube. So I figured, well, what if we take that concept and apply it to Linux, because I love everything Linux. I'm a big geek and I enjoy it. So I've got VirtualBox set up here because, of course, in real life Linux can't be a game because you've got a computer that you could destroy or brick. Well, VirtualBox basically lets you make a virtual computer on your computer. Kind of an interesting paradox there, but anyways, so I'm going to make a new VirtualBox. We will call this Let's Play Linux. I always type that capital I. And then we are going to choose Arch Linux 64, not 32. I like Arch Linux a lot because it's very customizable. They've got a really strong user base and a lot of passionate people. Of course, that's not to say that other distributions don't have that. This is just the one I choose to use and the one that I'll be using for this series. You can probably do similar things on distributions like Ubuntu, Debian, etc. However, there will be slightly different commands. Things will be slightly different. So I will go next here. I'm going to give it 4096 megabytes of RAM, which is about 4 gigabytes. It actually may be exactly 4 gigabytes now that I think about it, because I have about 12 gigabytes of RAM, and so I don't want to deprive it of RAM, and I've got RAM to spare, so onwards we go here. I am going to make a virtual hard disk. We'll just use the normal VDI VirtualBox disk image. It's the one I've used in the past. It works well. What can I say? So we'll go next here. I don't want to use dynamically allocated. I did another take of this where I used dynamically allocated and it messes everything up. So I'm just going to use a fixed size, nice, simple. You know what they say, keep it simple, stupid, or KISS. Yeah, that. So let's go on here. We got Let's Play Linux. We'll just go with 8 gigabytes. It's probably enough to do most of the things that we want to do. And then we'll create. And now we have a machine here. It says we're powered off. So, well, let's boot it up. What can I say? It always appears on my other screen, so here you go. We got to choose an ISO file to boot it off of for our install. So I'm just going to use the Arch Linux installer here. I've used it in the past. It works great. It's from April, but Arch is a rolling distribution. It always updates, so you're never out of date as long as you run the update every once in a while. So I will just select that, and we will click Start. Scale the actual thing up to 200%. It's going to look a little bit low resolution, but that'll be alright until I get this problem fixed, which should hopefully be by next episode. So now I will go into full screen mode, and I don't want to show that message again. We'll switch into full screen mode, and we're in full screen mode. Hooray! I will keep that out of the way, otherwise it'll keep coming down, and then we'll boot Arch Linux. Here we go. So we're off. It's a little bit slow. It's going to be a little bit slow because it's running on a virtual machine, so it doesn't love that, but what can I say? So I am going to just over here on my other display here, I'm just going to switch over to the Arch Wiki because I find that it's a fabulous resource, particularly for installation, which can be tricky. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but it can be. So the first two steps in their installation guide, verify the boot mode and set the keyboard layout, are both, we can just leave them because I know how I set up the boot mode because I set up the virtual machine. And the keyboard layout is just the default US, which is exactly what I have. So I don't have to worry about that. However, I do have to update the system clock, which is the third step on here. Oh, wait, no. First I have to connect to the internet. So let me just take a look here. Let's just ping google.com, right? Just to check for internet. And it looks like we actually have internet connection right out of the box. That normally doesn't happen when you're installing. It's probably because we're on a virtual machine. It just knows to route the internet through my main machine's computer. But this is fabulous. So, alright. I can just Control C to exit this command. And now we are out of the command, and it looks like the internet's working. So yay, that's one less thing that we have to deal with. So look in here, next thing we need to do is update the system clock. So we'll use time date CTL. This is the kind of thing that you only have to do once. So I'm not really familiar with this command. But what I do know is that it's setting this NTP thing to true, which is actually fairly self-evident. But alright, so no errors, hooray. So now we will just clear to get a nice fresh screen here, and we're going to start partitioning disks. Partitioning is always fun. Do parted make part x3 just because it's reliable, 0 gigabytes to 8 gigabytes. Cancel that because I forgot to specify a device. Oof. Okay. Of course, I keep forgetting this. I can format new partitions. Of course. So I can say entering command mode sudo fdisk/dev/sta. Whoa, we're in fdisk. Boom, boom, boom. Until I decide to write them. Be careful before using the right command. Ooh. G will create a brand new empty GPT partition table. Right. And now we will add a new partition, N. Partition number 1. First sector. We'll go with the default. Last sector. That should be fine too because it looks like it's the highest. And then it created the new type Linux file system of a size 8 gigabytes. So wait a minute. Now I need to, I've created one. At this point I need to format. Okay, so we can hit W to write the changes, and then it sync the disks. Okay, so now we can do sudo make fs.ext4. That's fine. /dev/sta1. Writing superblocks and accounting information. And now we can do mount sta1 onto /mount. And it works! Hey! Problem solving. I'm very proud of myself for that one. I've never encountered that problem before. So now we will just do, now we're installing the base packages. This is always an exciting part. It's also always very slow. So I'm probably going to just pause the recording here after I enter in this command. Packstrap/mount base and devil because I want development tools because development tools are freaking amazing. Here we go, and we're installing. So this will probably take a bit of a while because I am on Wi-Fi. So I will just pause the recording, and we should be good.